Yes.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be back again with you. Right now, we have with us another young Indian. We have with us Pranav. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Pranav.
Yes. Thank you so much. First of all, yes, I would like to thank Dr. Subodh for this opportunity. It's not very often that people get such huge audiences to share their thoughts, huge number of audiences, and especially so when you are young. So thank you so much for this opportunity and also for this series of videos that you're doing with lots of young people.
Okay.
So I'm Pranav. Uh, People call me Agumbe because you can always find five other Pranavs in the same classroom, so they usually call me by my second name. I have I grew up in Chennai, but I was born in Karnataka, so I can speak in Tamil, Kannada, and Hindi because I had to study Hindi at school. So I like playing chess more so that I like losing chess matches. So yeah, I like watching movies. Occasionally, I read books, but I would like to read more books in the future.
All right.
So for yes, so today, I would like to share few of my thoughts based on a very short period of life experience that I've had when compared to lots of other people. So what I think is okay. I'll tell you my story from maybe from school. So that'll be nice. So I've always been seen as the smart kid. So everybody, people appreciated me for being smart and not for working hard or putting in the effort. So I just, it was very smooth for me schooling because I was a smart kid. So it was very easy for me. So, but then I realized that I was not really understanding what is happening, but I was merely rigor. Eventually, I hit a are you able to hear me?
It's a little bit difficult. The internet is not very 100% clear, but we can continue.
Uh,
If it becomes worse, we will put a pause. But right now, it's okay.
okay, so as I was saying, yeah, so due to this, I never really learned how to learn. So it just came easy to me. And eventually, I hit a block. I would say it was around 12th grade when I was studying 12th standard. And I found it difficult when I was in 12th standard. So that was when somehow, even then, I again managed to memorize lots of facts from the textbook and I did well in my exams. So I ended up studying engineering. Although my first preference would have been to study physics, but uh, given that there are more job opportunities for engineering, I choose to do engineering. So I did my bachelor's in electronics and communication. And again, coming to college, I was surrounded by very smart group of people who
We are back after the internet glitch. Pranav was telling us about that he was surrounded in colleges by people who, and it stopped there. So let us listen to the who.
yeah. So I was surrounded by a lot of different people, but I was more attracted or interested in people who are much more who seem much more smarter than me and who seem to get the concepts immediately. So I realized that okay, I should maybe try to be like them, and this is when I started learning how to learn. So I think that is something that is very important, even from school. I would say that you have to learn how to learn. And secondly, there are so many people in a college, obviously. So everybody has a different aim or a goal. So and this is when I realized uh, engineering is not the only thing, or science and maths is not the only thing. There are so many other things that you can do, and everybody is different. They have different goals. But something that I found striking is most of the people want to follow a set path. That is you go to your second year, you apply to lots of internships, you get something, and you go on to do that. But they do not know why they're doing this. Why should you do it? Why do you want to do an internship? They just want to do it because everybody is doing it. And, okay, so even I did that. So I applied to a lot of places, but fortunately or unfortunately, in my second year, I didn't intern anywhere. But that's another thing. But that is when I realized I should do something that I like to do, not do things because other people are doing. And it took me a lot of time to figure out what I like to do. Ideally, I think uh, I don't think anybody figures it out. Maybe even when they're, I don't know, say 50, 60, I'm not sure if they know what they like to do or what they want to do. So yeah. So yeah. And then something that I understand is that some people are just lucky. So I would consider myself lucky, first of all, because I was born in India, secondly, born into a nice middle class family. And there, so it's a lottery. That's how I see life. That it's a lottery. You get lucky, okay, but once you get lucky, what are you doing? Are you trying to help people who are somewhat more unlucky than you? If you are in a position to do that, it's very nice. So if you can do that, it's very good. If you can't, that's okay. Whatever, uh, to the best of your extent, you can help them. Uh, so these are the main things that I wanted to talk about, but I also want to share a lot of other things. So I will go on. So I was really into physics, as I was saying. But then coming to college, I realized nobody can stick to one field, even if you're going to do physics. You have to, whatever it is that you do, it is going to be interdisciplinary. It cannot be just physics. As you go deeper into something, the lines between the fields are going to blur. You probably borrow ideas from other subjects or other fields and you're going to combine them. So it makes sense uh, for people to not combine. For example, what I mean by that is if you do not like a subject and you're just complaining, say, I don't want to read this, it's not interesting. I think it's okay. It's not interesting, it's okay, but at least try to understand maybe some of the basic ideas or principle because I'm sure that somewhere it's going to be of use to you. Maybe not immediately, but maybe in the future. And it's okay if it's not going to be of use to you. Maybe you can teach it to somebody who's struggling to understand. So you can do that. So I wanted to do physics. I wanted to do physics as I was very, very, very attracted to physics. But it's okay. I did engineering, but I realized you can uh, trust in physics or trust in basic science, but at the end of the day, you have to rely on engineering to get things done. And that is something that I learned at the end of my fourth year. There's whatever that research is going on in basic sciences, without engineering or practical applications, they are of not much use. One more thing that I want to say is I recently moved to Bangalore. I'm sorry if I'm jumping between topics, but I want to tell as much as I want to tell and share what is going on in my mind. So I recently moved to Bangalore. I never realized how comfortable I was at home. I didn't have to think about cooking or washing my clothes, cleaning up, washing my utensils. Even travel was chill because my parents had a vehicle and I just used to borrow it from them and go and come would do whatever. But I've come to Bangalore now and I have to travel in public transport. Have to change two buses or maybe one metro and a bus, and it's not really convenient. But I'm managing and I have to try to cook my own food. But as of now, I'm just eating outside 3 times. I know it's not healthy, but uh, yeah, I have to try to do that. And well, so this also, put another thought into my head. That is, so recently, not recently, maybe a year or 2 years, I'm not sure. So in Chennai, I think the buses are free for women. So I was thinking at that point of time, I was thinking, why should it be free? I should also pay for it or whatever. But now I realize that I'm traveling by public transport. It is not as cheap as I thought it would be. If even if I can save 60 rupees a day, it's good for me, or else it's eating up on my income. So I can put it to another use. Maybe I can, I don't know, buy, in my case, I can maybe buy better food or eat at a better restaurant or something. But I can see how it can help people who are not as fortunate as me. Maybe they can put it to their kids' school fees or whatever it is that they seem fit. And I've learned a lot of people, many more people than I would have probably if I was in Chennai. Because I grew up in Chennai since I was around 3 years old. So it was like a fixed network of people that I used to always interact with. Maybe it's evening after office, I just call it, Macha, where are you? And we just go out or hang out. Now that I'm in a new place, I have to actively talk with people. I love talking, but then I have to talk in a way that the other person also likes it. So that is something I'm learning right now. Yeah, it has been a great experience in Bangalore as of now. I hope that will carry carry forward as we coming to my professional life. I'm an electronics engineer, so I'm having lots of fun because I'm doing something that I studied for the past 4 years in my bachelor's degree, and I'm able to apply what I have learned. Again, when I started doing this, to be honest, I didn't know anything. Like, it was just textbook knowledge, theoretical. I realized that only once you start doing it, as in applying what you learn, it will make a lot more sense. Like, say there is some theory XYZ, you just learned it as a theory, or maybe you just memorized it as a fact, and you put it on your answer sheet. But when you're doing something that actively uses this theory, you gain new insights or a new perspective of looking at the theory because you're actually using it and maybe even modifying it to suit your use case. I feel if people right from, I don't know, say first year of college for engineering, science, arts, or whatever it is, maybe if they start applying what they learned, I think at the end of 4 years, uh, okay, first and foremost, they will easily find a job. Secondly, I feel they'll be more satisfied. They will not have the question of why did I study this? What is in it for me? I should maybe have studied something else. So I feel, yeah. So if you apply something that you learn, you can learn it in a better way, in a new way, gain more insights on it, and also be somewhat satisfied with your life. Yes. So these were the main things that I had in mind. Maybe if you can prompt something from me, that would be great.
Yeah, it's very impressive because, one of my key points is what you already made. And that is that
Huh.
in college, your main aim should be to learn on your own. So you used my phrase. I am so happy that I keep telling young people that the whole point of college is A, to make good friends. Wonderful. Do that. But the second thing in college is to learn on your own. Because today India is changing so fast, the world is changing so fast that whatever they teach you, no matter how good they are, it won't be what I mean. Look, if you graduated 3 years ago, perhaps nobody taught AI ML, but today you need it, right? So I think you made a very valid point, but I'm not sure whether
Yes.
your internet is frozen, but let me stop. Let me listen to you. Yeah, his internet is frozen, so let me.
Sure.
Okay, Pranav was on pause, but he did hear what I have to say. So let me
Oh
just
no.
continue with it. That I'm so happy to hear a young person say that the main job is to learn on your own, and even whether it's engineering or science or anything, economics, you have to learn on your own because That's what college should teach you, how to learn on your own. In today's world, that is very important. Okay. So I'm very happy to hear that from you. And any advice you have for young people?
I myself am very young, so
Oh, but
I
there
would
are
say
there are the
mostly it
people
is,
in 11th and 12th and first year who would say,
uh,
what does a senior have to say? Is there still jobs in
yes, yes,
electronics? Is it a dead end?
yes.
What is it
So
like now?
definitely,
So go ahead.
yes. So
By the way, you
I
should
would I,
know.
I would
You,
like to say
you
something.
should know that there's a generation gap between you and those in 12th. It's only 4 or 5 years, but they are in a completely different generation than you, right? So to them, you are like an
Right, right.
outdated senior. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I would like to say that firstly that what my senior told me, that is, you have to be the senior that you wanted when you were at any point of time. I think that is something very nice that he told me, and I try to do that. So for somebody in school, I think do not uh, pigeonhole yourself into a very niche field right in school, even though people might say things like you have to take physics, chemistry, maths, computer science, or some people might also be like, why should you take science? Life is more than that. Take arts. Don't listen to anybody. Maybe just listen to your parents sometimes, but mostly do what you like to do. Keeping in mind that you're just in school, what you study need not determine your career. You can make your career in anything. For example, I know uh, lots of people who shifted from engineering to theoretical physics. And they did engineering in any field, mechanical engineering, electrical, chemical, it could be any field, but they shifted to theoretical physics. Some people I know have even shifted to biology. So it doesn't matter what you, yeah, so it doesn't matter what you study. You just do what you like and get good at something, preferably an employable skill. So get good at something, not right in school, but at least in college. In school, like I said, you just have to learn to learn and learn everything. Do not think, why am I writing this classwork or why am I doing this homework? Sometimes it helps to do what you do not like, because in professional life, you do not always, or even in your personal life, you cannot do you can't always do what you like. There will be times when you have to do things you don't like. So, but they are necessary things. Even if you do not like them, there will be some necessary things that you have to do. So, do not think I can't do this homework. I don't like this subject. Do it. Just I don't know. Get that determination to do it. It's okay. You can do it. You can push through it. This is what I have to say for people in school. For
Yeah.
people in college, like I said, again, doesn't matter what degree you do. You can do BBA, you can do BA, you can do BSc, you can do BTech, B, whatever that is. Even BA, LLB, you can study law, whatever it is. You study anything, but get some employable skill. It could be from my perspective, that is, I did electronics. So from what I know, it could even be soldering. So there's a lot of demand for people who can solder. So I remember that I was in second year, and since I joined right around COVID time, it was online. So the soldering class and all went online. So I never really learned to solder. So in second year, all of a sudden, this amazing professor I had, he engineering and also some aspects of my personal life. So he told us, you do a project. If you do this project, I'll waive off some of your marks from your internals. As in, I'll give it to you for free, but you have to do a good project. So something like that. So we all do it, and he's like, "What is this? Why is it on a breadboard?" So breadboard is something electronics engineers use for prototyping. He said it should not be on a breadboard. You have to solder it. We said we don't know how to solder, and he said you should be ashamed of yourself. You second year of electronics engineering and you're telling me you don't know how to solder, but it's okay. I teach us how to solder and we did it. But that was really basic soldering. At the end of at the end of my seventh semester, when I was doing my final year project, is when I actually learned to solder, and that is when I realized there's a huge industry in India where people take orders just for making the PCB, that is the printed circuit board. For example, if you open your laptop, you can see some many components and everything. That is the PCB. There is a big industry for making PCBs and soldering components on it. Can you imagine that? For me, it was very shocking because
I think we are having a little bit of an interrupt on the internet. I think
something that I was
that's,
told that if you
yeah, go
don't know
ahead.
it, you should be ashamed of yourself. But
Right.
now it's very employable. Get good at anything. It could be soldering, for example.
Yeah, you need to know
Yeah.
you
For,
need to know how to put things on
from
the
what I
PPT.
know, it's soldering. For maybe engineers, it could be welding.
Yeah. All
Yes,
right.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So you have to do that. Next something that I would like to tell them is uh, you are you're going to be an engineer, so you're not going to be a technician. There's nothing wrong in being a technician, but ideally you stay in you're supposed to become an engineer. Nothing wrong in being a technician, just saying it. So how do you become an engineer? So there are people will tell you a lot of things, but I believe that when you create novel things, when you put together multiple ideas and build a system, that is when you are engineering something or building something. So for this to happen, you should know to be systematic. For example, when we have lab classes in college, you somebody tells you do this, do that, you just do it, and you get the result. But you shouldn't do that. Even if the college where you're studying or the society or whatever it is, the system is in such a way that it makes it easy for you, doesn't mean you have to do it in an easy way. You have to follow a set of practices. Like obviously, when you enter the lab, I'm sure there will be a huge notice board or something which says all the rules, like ensure this is on before you do this, ensure this is off before you do this. You have to follow all of that, and you have to maintain a notebook where you take an observation, readings, and then you have to do some basic analysis on them. Like, is this repeatable? Is this experiment repeatable? Am I getting the same data every time I do it? Can I do it in a different way? How can I do it in a more efficient way? And you have to take somewhat meticulous notes of how you did how perform the experiment. First of all, why are you performing this experiment? What is the aim? How are you going to achieve the same? And when you did what you wanted to do, did you achieve the aim? If yes, why? If no, what went wrong? I think this is something that everybody has to follow. If you want to be an engineer, just that this is what I think. This is something I learned very late. I would say during, but that's okay. I did my final year project in an industry at ISMO Biophotonics, and I found a very amazing mentor who also happened to be my professor's student, old student. Who this is a professor that I said I look up to. So yeah, so it was a very nice experience. He taught me so many things about how to be an engineer. So this is what I would like to say to my juniors.
Okay.
And again, I would like to repeat that you have to be the senior that you probably wish you had. And
Okay.
I think this has really resonated a lot with me.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very good thing. Okay. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts, final thoughts, final thoughts. Yeah, definitely that again, just do what you like and things will take their own path. Like it doesn't matter even if you want a very. Okay, I would like to quote the Alchemist that if you want something, I think the universe will do everything in its power to give you what you want. But comes with a warning that you have effort to what you want. So yeah,
Okay, all right.
this
Let's
is my final thought.
all right, great. Thank you so much.
Uh,
Go ahead. Still have something more to add? Go ahead.
very sorry. Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Yeah. So yes. So I think it's very necessary that yes. Are you able to hear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Am I audible?
Yes, you
Yeah.
are.
Okay. Sorry. So I feel that it is important that some sense of social responsibility is instilled in everybody. I think that will be very nice. For example, when I was in school, we had this pilot program of work experience for CBC thing that so there. I don't know, but me as a pilot program,
It's difficult to hear you, but I hear you say that everybody should have a
go
sense of social
volunteer
responsibility.
and
You're
I,
very-
I used to here for greenifying Chennai. So there was a the NGO called Nidal.
We had a very hard time hearing you, so could you just repeat it?
Yes, so
The school
everybody
project.
has to have a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a sense of social responsibility because I think uh, so. I feel like people are always not saying it's a bad thing, but somehow they're forced by the society or whatever the environment they're living in to always think about themselves first, their families next, and then maybe outside of the family. I okay, even I think the same way, but I would like to change that, and I would also like it if more people think beyond their families. I think that would be, and I think if a very nice way of doing it would be that maybe let's say in school you are compulsorily you have to maybe volunteer at an NGO or something of that sort. Because when I was in school, that was there. So I volunteered for greenifying Chennai, where I went around different designated places to plant trees and other things. Come to college also, there is this national student service thing going on where you go around. In my college was very nice in the fact that we had adopted a school in a village. We would go there and do all sorts of activities, help them out and everything. So I think that would be very nice if everybody had that sense of social responsibility.
Okay. All right. So wonderful to hear that from you, Pranav. Let's end it here today. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Till then, bye, everybody. Bye.